What is going on, y'all? What is going on? It's your boy David from Top Bunk Sports. I got my guy Randy from Randy Talks Mets, and welcome to episode 8 of Mets on Top. And as you hear in my voice, as you see it on Randy's face, has not been a very good couple of days for me and Randy and the rest of the Mets fan base. Before we get into anything else, we would like to play something that the New York Mets posted as soon as the signing of Pete Alonso to the Baltimore Orioles was official. This is all rights to the New York Mets, but we thought it was a cool video, and we couldn't have done it any better without the Mets doing it. So we would like to play this video as a thank you for the memories, Pete.
With the 64th selection of the 2016 Major League Draft, New York Mets select Pete Alonso.
This guy's best tool is his raw power.
Alonso with his first Major League home run! Home run derby champion of 2019. 2021 derby champion.
He just looked like a big old polar bear, and it's not.
Home run! Number 53!
National League, Jackie Robinson looking in the room.
Home run! Alonso!
Pete, you are now the man.
3-1 to Alonso. Here's the pitch.
It's gone! He did it! He did it! Pete Alonso with the most memorable home run of his career!
The Pete Alonso Foundation this year, we're going to be donating $1,000 per home run.
Alonso has the Mets club record! Forget that! That is way out of here! History for Pete Alonso! Home run number 2!
I'm just happy to come through for the boys. I'm really happy I got to come through for the team right there.
Alonso drives one. It's out of here! And the Mets win it!
That was sick. No, thank you guys so much.
It's out of here! Out of here! Pete Alonso, the most prolific home run hitter in New York Mets history!
LFGM. Let's go.
Fly ball! That should do it! Upper deck! It's gone! Francisco Lindor walks it off for the Mets! His first walk-off home run in a Mets uniform! And this place is going wild on a Friday night!
Brunson holding. Nick's trying to wait till the end. Brunson puts up a three. Bang! Bang! Jalen Brunson hits the three with 4.3 remaining.
All right. So we're settled in. As you guys saw the tribute video there to Pete Alonso from the New York Mets. Yesterday, some horrible news, sad news at that, came about as Jeff Passan broke that Pete Alonso signed a 5-year, $155 million contract with the Baltimore Orioles. Before that, Edwin Diaz signed a 3-year, $69 million contract with the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Mets lost 2 of their best players on their franchise in less than 24 hours. Again, before I give my full opinion on that, Randy, what was your thoughts? What did you think about the entire situation? Yeah, the floor is yours, bro.
Yo, bro, I'll tell you this, bro. First of all, you playing this damn video, bro, got me a little, you know what I'm saying, a little emotional, seeing Pete Alonso and the tribute, and I was like, man, I wanted Pete Alonso back. It really sucks that he's gone. Yes, at times Pete was goofy. Yes, at times, Pete Alonso, we was talking about his defense and all that, and I get it. I completely understand. But when you talk about a Met that came up in 2019, hit 53 home runs in his rookie year, just a guy that overall once he came into this organization, just really sparked this team. And I think Pete Alonso is an awesome talent. I think he's one of the best sluggers in the game. And when I saw that the Orioles are signing Pete Alonso for a 5-year deal, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of laughed. I kind of laughed because I'm like, what is this guy doing? What is Stearns doing? What is Stearns doing? And David Stearns, he's didn't even make him an offer. Didn't even make him an offer to Pete Alonso. This is a guy that he wants to get all the dead weight off this team. And it's unfortunate that he looks at Pete Alonso like dead weight. But it's the truth. He never wanted Pete Alonso on this team. This was not Pete Alonso's guy. The only reason Pete Alonso came back in 2025 was because of Steve Cohen. It's the only reason. If it's up to David Stearns, he wasn't even going to sign him. He was not going to sign him to a 5-year deal, a 6-year deal, a 7-year deal. It wasn't going to happen. It wasn't going to happen. And now, like, you lost so many Met fans. You lost so much Met fans in the last 48 hours. We lost Edwin Diaz first, which I was hurt in the beginning, but then I saw and I heard about the fact that he didn't circle back to the Mets. He didn't circle back to the Mets. He didn't give the Mets an opportunity to bring the offer up. But overall, this is the New York Mets we're talking about. This is not Milwaukee. This is not the fucking Milwaukee Brewers. This is the New York Mets. You have the money to go get the player. Go get the damn player. Edwin Diaz is one of the best closers in the game. One of the best in the game. One of the most electric relievers that this team has. You saw it. What was it, 2023, when Edwin Diaz got injured from the WBC? David Robertson was their closer. But it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same. It wasn't the same electricity as the closer with Edwin Diaz. And that season was done. That season was basically done from the beginning. From the beginning. I think with the New York Mets right now, it's a horrible, horrible time to be a New York Mets fan right now, especially with what's going on. You lost Edwin Diaz. You lose Pete Alonso. This guy, Pete Alonso, one of the best sluggers in the game. His defense sucks. Okay, it is what it is. But what he gives you offensively, you're not just going to make that up. You're not just going to get that back. The only backup plan that I would have been okay with and fine with is signing a Kyle Schwarber. Because Kyle Schwarber's a guy that can hit you 45 home runs every single year. Every single year. And now you don't have a backup plan to Pete Alonso. And if your backup plan is Wilson Contreras, then make the fucking trade for Wilson Contreras then. Do something. The Mets need to do something. And the Mets haven't done much. I don't know where this team is going. And then what pissed me off even more, Top, is Steve Cohen's comment. Steve Cohen comment on John Heyman's shit on his thing. And he said, we want this team to be a playoff team. You want this team to be a playoff team, but you're doing this. Where is this team going? I don't know, Top, but I'm very, very concerned. And the rumors that we're hearing with Cody Bellinger, Luis Robert, whatever, I'm not believing crap. I'm not believing crap until I see the Mets have signed. The Mets have traded for. It is what it is.
Spoken like a true fan himself, man. That couldn't have said it any better. Let's look at the comments. Appreciate the 83 in here. Appreciate everybody in the chat that's chatting it up with us. We got Brandon J. Camacho talking about best of luck to the polar bear in Baltimore. Wish nothing but the best for him and his family. Absolutely. Congratulations once again to Pete for having a kid. We know that plays a factor in it. It's not just about the money. We know his family plays a factor. King Mez in the building. What up? What up? My guy Jay Fern said, "Que lo que mi gente, hashtag Queens Baseball." That's right. My guy Chris Torres. What up? What up? Ricky in the building. Dímelo. Here we go. Mez. We got my guy. We got Rick saying we'll be all right, boys. I hope you're right. Chris says Randy looks depleted. I think he's been like that all. He's been like that all day. I don't think Randy's cracked a smile. We got guys chatting. Mez agreeing with you. We got Elvis Solano in the building. Solano says David Stern's master plan was to help the Dodgers win another World Series by letting Edwin Diaz go. Yeah. I mean, listen, that's how it looks like so far, right? That's how it looks like. The Dodgers have been aggressive all the time. They've shown that they don't care about spending. They'll give it to anybody. Camacho saying we will be okay. It takes time. Rick saying Randy cooking. Chris saying nah, New York Mets right now. Rick calling you a superstar. Solano says Stern's master plan is continue to getting the team and letting the Dodgers have all the World Series. Right. I think we addressed that. Brandon Camacho saying every team goes through a change when they want to see their top prospects can do and see their potential. 2026 is going to be that year for us. San says an interesting statement. He says, to be fair, didn't Cohen offer 7 years, $158 million? Pete turned it down, fired his agent, and hired Boris. Cohen was not going to offer that again. No owner would. Offer would go down, not up. Interesting. Brandon says, I also think the fans know the direction Stearns is taking the team. Some fans aren't accepting of it and want to keep hoping he spends on a Tucker or Belly or waiting on a quote unquote big trade. Jacob LGM says Randy needs to make a sandwich. G Money Stack says, what's up, Top Bunk and Randy of Mets on top? How are you feeling with the weak mentality, emotionally, physically, and spiritually? Boy, if only you knew. My girl Eva in the building, she says, my conspiracy is Cohen doesn't want to spend big anymore. Sign Soto, okay, whatever. Stearns loves the farm guys and is going to pivot there a lot, I think. Don't expect big free agent signings or any big trades at this point. So, now that we got through the comments, originally, I've stated here on this show many, many times that I felt like the number two priorities for the New York Mets starting in this free agency was getting Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso back. Now, of course, after Edwin Diaz opted out, comes out a couple days later that he was asking for the same contract that he got from the Mets when they extended him, a 5-year, $102 million contract. Pete Alonso, they didn't really know what he wanted. It was kind of out there later on that he wanted more like a 5-year deal or so or whatever. Here's my thing. And I know there are people that don't like this. There are people that do like this, right? They do like the fact that Stearns is pivoting. There's multiple ways that I look at this. And most of you have already seen or heard me kind of give my opinion. Those of you that are in the Queens baseball group chat, you kind of know. But for those that don't know, this is the way I look at it. Am I happy that David Stearns let go of these two core guys? Absolutely not. There is no way that you can tell me, regardless if this was a Steve Cohen signing or if this was a collective signing between Cohen and Stearns, there is no way that you can sell me on a PowerPoint, let's say, that you sign the best, and I say that humbly, the best baseball player in the majors right now to the largest athletic contract in sports history, and then a year later break up this entire core. Unless you're telling me we're breaking up this core to get better players to surround him with to go out there and compete. Now, with that being said, I felt, based on how much Diaz took and how much Alonso took, that both contracts were doable for many reasons. One, he went $3 million more when we talk about Diaz. I understand that the $66 million for 3 years that the New York Mets offered had some deferrals. I understand that. I get that. You wanted some wiggle room to add more to the bullpen and kind of give yourself some space within the deferrals. I totally get that. But when Met fans come out here and talk about Edwin Diaz had his ups and downs, absolutely. by no means was he perfect, right? By no means. But he was the best. He was the best closer in baseball while he was here. Okay, you look at 2019, his first year after he got traded, his first year as a Met when he got traded here. Horrible year. 2020 comes, 60 games was okay. 2021 comes, much better. 2022 comes, had the best year of his career with us. Right? I think we can agree on that, right, Randy?
Yeah.
2023 gets hurt. Now, here's what I'm going to say. I'm going to ask you this question and you tell me if I'm wrong. Did Steve Cohen did he ever tell Edwin Diaz to not go to the WBC? I'm asking you because I don't remember. Because I
think they didn't want him to go to the WBC.
Okay, so they didn't want him to go to the WBC.
No.
Okay. So here's the thing with that. They didn't want him to go to the WBC, but they allowed him to do it. You want to know why?
Why?
If a superstar player or if one of the best players on my team is asking to go to a World Baseball Classic or to an off-brand tournament, I have the power as an owner to tell him no, right? Because he's under contract for my organization, right? They still allowed him to do it. So Edwin Diaz went and did the World Baseball Classic. Unfortunately, he got hurt, right? And Jacob's in the building. Jacob said that is a lie. He said,
I'm trying to look it up right now.
Randy's looking it up, but he says Cohen's wife and her dad are super Puerto Rican. They allowed him. Okay, whether they allowed him or not, at the end of the day, they didn't give him a hard no. Okay, I'm sure if Cohen didn't want, they would have never said no to him playing. If it is true, because I don't know, that's why I was asking Randy. I understand that, right? But at the same time, you have to understand these guys are these.
They had concerns about his usage.
Okay.
Specifically wanted to avoid back-to-back pitching days due to risk being involved.
Okay, they could have said no at the end of the day. They could have said no to him. We get the pride and all that. Trust me, I love the WBC. I'm Dominican myself. I understand the pride. I defend it all the way through. I think the WBC is great for baseball, right? They could have said no. They didn't, right? They allowed him to play. Unfortunately he got hurt. Non-contact, celebrating a big win, advancing to the next round. Got hurt, right? Mm-hmm. Comes back 2024, has a solid year. 2025 has a solid year, has a good year in 2025. We knew by 2025 he was going to opt out. So, at the end of the day, to me, I look at it from a standpoint of I think he with the stats that he's put up with the Mets and how good he was with the Mets, especially finishing a strong year last year, I think he's earned whatever he's wanted.
Reliever of the year.
I think he's earned what he was asking for. People say, I'm not paying 20 mil for a closer. Well, you got to understand with this notion, we're competing. Now, granted, they got Devin Williams. I understand that. I get that. But if Devin Williams comes out and says, I'm okay with being a setup man, and then we get reports right after that they're still interested, I would think that you would want to give him whatever he wants.
You would think so.
Right. So same thing goes with Pete Alonso. I think with Pete Alonso, his offense outweighs his liability defensively at first base. I felt like he was owed whatever he wants because he backed up what he was saying. I get he had a horrible 2024. I get that. But he kind of made up for it in 2025. And God only knows how well his playoffs would have been in 2025 if we would have made the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like they were owed their money. They didn't. The funny thing about this is not just the fact that we didn't bring those two guys back. Randy, let me ask you a question. Within this core, what year are we in since Cohen bought the team?
The 5th year.
What was the length of years that Steve Cohen gave the fan base within the time to win a championship?
3 to 5.
Correct. When was David Stern hired?
2024.
Correct? Okay. I have this notion that within that window, right, that Steve Cohen gave the fan base of when he wants to bring a championship, I have this notion that when he brought David Stearns in here, he said, I have this window that I promised the fan base. If we don't
October 2nd, 2023.
So for the 2024 season. Okay.
Yes.
So Stearns has already been here for 2 years.
Yeah.
2 seasons. I have this notion that he told Stearns, within the 5-year plan that I have to try to win a championship with this core, if we don't get it done, we have to make changes. And that's exactly what I think happened. They stuck to Cohen's plan, and in year 5, there's nothing came out of it. And what did he do? He broke up the core. Now, I'm not saying that it's right, but Steve is going to let the man do whatever he wants to do. But he's sticking to a plan that, although I don't like it right now, I got to respect him a little bit because he's sticking to what his plan is. The first thing that he said was run prevention, right? He's brought in Marcus Simeon. He's letting go of a defensive liability, although, like I said, his offense outweighs it. The only person that doesn't fall into that metric is Edwin Diaz. But he's already gotten rid of 2 core guys that are liabilities defensively and has brought in 1 guy already within Marcus Simeon that covers defense very well.
Yes.
So far, it seems like he's following that plan that he has set, with the notion of also giving the young kids playing time as well. So I got to give him a little bit of you know, a little bit of how do you say it? Time on that, because if that's the route you're gonna go, at least let the fan base know, yo, this is the route that I'm gonna go. And so far, that's what I'm taking.
They haven't let us know what the hell they're gonna. They haven't really let us know what direction this team is gonna take. Are they gonna push the kids? They haven't let us know. I
don't expect them to, though. That's the thing. I don't expect.
Cohen is saying this is gonna be a playoff team,
right? But that's all
that the offseason is not over.
That's all. That's all they're gonna tell us. They're not gonna go into depth into what they really want to do.
So they're lying to us.
But based on the moves he's following his metric, is he not?
You made a trade for Marcus Simeon, okay, who's one of the best. I get it was a bad contract for bad contract. I get that. He's one of the best a second baseman. He's a Gold Glover. You're bringing in a guy that has leadership, a guy that can play defense. I understand that. But if your thing is to play the young kids, how are you blocking Jet Williams and playing the young kids? That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't disagree. But part of his,
where's the direction of this team going?
But I'm talking about, it's not even I'm talking about the metric of what he wants to do in terms of
run prevention.
That's it. That's I'm only going based off of that.
Run prevention.
That is the only thing that I can think of him getting rid of the core on that. That's it.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That's literally it. At the end of the day, there's
the direction is south.
He's trying to do something different, and whether it's good or bad, we're in for a crazy ride.
Let me ask you a question, Top.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I get it. We didn't win. We haven't won. You know, in many years. But with this David Stearns, we haven't won.
One second. Hold that thought. G Money Stacks brings up a real good question, and I'm gonna answer that real quick. So, is this a rebuild or a retool? If Juan Soto is still on this team, but Lindor is traded, I think and based on the players that they bring, it could be a rebuild. However, if they keep Francisco Lindor and they add maybe a Yandy Diaz at first or a Cody Bellinger, for that matter, it's a retool. Because, like I said, and I look at it more like a retool than a rebuild, regardless. Because there was, like I said before in my first statement, there is absolutely no way that you sign Juan Soto, especially to that contract, and you're trying to rebuild. I look at it as a retool because he's trying to get rid of a core that didn't win, gave him enough ample time within the 5 years that they were here. They didn't get anything done, and they were worse defensively than what they were in the past years. So he's trying to eliminate that. So I look at that as a real tool, a retool. That is a really good question, G Money Stacks. But keep going, Randy.
No, I mean that is a great question. Is it a rebuild? Is it a retool? To me, truly, I think it's a retool, but and I don't want to believe it's a rebuild. I don't think Met fans can take a rebuild. They can't. We cannot. I don't think we want to win. We want to win. We haven't won since '86. We haven't been in the World Series since 2015. We want to win. This is 2020, about to be 2026. We want to win. We do not want to lose. We don't want to lose for the next 3 years. We don't. This is a team that the Mets, like Cohen, the feel of Steve Cohen. Remember when Steve Cohen came to the Mets? The Wilpons, and Cohen brought the team. Different feel. Cohen brought a lot of hope. Cohen brought a lot of. It was just like, oh, we're a big market. We could spend money. We're not the little engine that could Mets. We're the big market Mets. We could compete with the Yankees. Oh, we got Soto. We got Juan Soto. We took Juan Soto from the Yankees. This is our time now. This is our time. We ain't the little brother no more. What the hell are we now? What is going on? David Stearns? This is what I call. This is what I call. You don't want to make an offer to someone for more than 3 years. This is the small market Mets. This is the small market Stearns Mets. This is what this is. I don't believe any Cody Bellinger crap. I don't believe any Cody Bellinger. I don't believe any Framber Valdez crap. I don't believe anything. Look, I hate to say it, but I don't see them making another long-term signing this offseason. I don't. And like bigger than 4 years or 5 years, I don't see it. I don't see it. And it worries me. Because, like, okay, you get a Cody Bellinger. Okay, we could work with something. But if you don't, it's like you lost Diaz. The pivot was Suarez, Robert Suarez, right? That was the addition that I think the Met fans wanted to feel like, okay, you know what I'm saying? We ain't the little market Mets. We ain't the small market Mets. And Suarez goes to the Braves, and he's gonna be a setup man. I mean, like, what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't know. I need Stearns to pick a direction and go with the direction. If the direction is to play the young kids, first of all, play the young kids. People talking about, oh, Ryan Clifford is not ready. Jonah Tong is not ready. Who are you gonna have then? Are you going to trade for Winston Contreras? Get the deal done then. Winston Contreras is one of the he's a really good player. Good player. One of the best OPS plus hitters in the game, too. He gives you awesome defense. This is a guy that would be perfect for what David Stearns wants. But I don't know anymore. I don't know what he's going to do, and I have no confidence that he's going to do it. I'm very worried.
Oh boy. I mean, yeah. Again, I totally understand your point. I would say the only thing that I found very disrespectful was the Mets not offering Pete anything. This guy was your franchise rookie home run leader. This guy broke your home run record last year. Good playoff numbers. Was clutch for a lot of moments. I just don't see how you don't even attempt to offer him anything. And I think that's a slap in the face. And I want to shout out Tank, that's probably watching. He mentioned that. He told me that. And again, from a guy in Tank that supported Pete to the max, was no matter what Pete did, he was Pete, and I absolutely loved it.
Yeah, poor Tank, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Tank, MIA Tank. I hope you good, bro. Not gonna lie to you. I feel bad. I really feel bad.
Yeah, man.
But David Stearns, he never wanted Pete Alonso. I feel like he looked at Pete Alonso, was like, oh yeah, we don't want him. We don't want him back. We don't come on. We're gonna say we interested. We're gonna say we interested. Maybe we'll have a talk. They didn't even make an offer.
Yeah.
I mean, Eddie ain't wrong. Fuck this team. You know what I'm saying? I look, I'm a diehard Met fan. You know, I go for the Mets always. And it's not about just the players. It's about the team. It's about the team. Whether we are Met fans. We're not just Francisco Lindor fans, Pete Alonso fans. We are Met fans. So we love those colors and we love the Mets. And whether we like it or not, this is the direction that's going right now, bro.
Right.
Breaking news: Grimace joins the Dodgers.
By the way, not that I have any inside sources, but Francisco Lindor is not getting traded to the San Diego Padres. So if you're one of those that follows that and thinks that that's a possibility or that's going to happen, the Mets would be the most stupidest team in the entire world to take a Xander Bogaerts contract.
Any team in the MLB would be stupid to take that contract.
It would,
because that's one of the worst contracts. That's not a good contract.
You know, people talk about, oh, you're losing power with Wilson Contreras. You're losing power with Xander Bogaerts as your shortstop. Francisco Lindor's defense beats him out the park. Like, come on, man. Like, if we're gonna have a reasonable conversation, can we at least do it with some logic, please? Please, man.
I mean, if we get two players that can hit 20 home runs, that's Pete right there. Now I'm saying with RBIs, maybe 80 RBIs, 50-something RBIs. That's basically.
So let me ask you this question. Okay, so let me ask you this question. Who are your two players?
I don't know. Wilson Contreras and maybe Murakami. Who knows, bro? Who knows? Who honestly knows with this damn team? I don't know.
Okay.
I haven't heard one thing about Murakami's market. I haven't either. Literally one thing.
Why do you think that is? You think it's just because a lot of teams are skeptical on him?
Maybe they're really concerned about the high velocity. I don't know what it is.
Okay.
Maybe it's the high velocity, but I haven't heard one thing. Like, and to me, that's pretty alarming. Right?
Absolutely, yeah. I don't know. I honestly
can't hit over 95 miles per hour fastball. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The high velocity, bro.
That's disgusting. Yeah. So then there's no point of the Mets even trying to go for that. I'm sorry.
And yeah, look, the Lindor thing. I'm telling you, if any of that happens, then this is a rebuild completely. This is a rebuild. And what I really want to know, and I wish I was like a fly on the damn wall, what the hell did they tell Juan Soto to get here? Was it just the money?
Yeah.
Was it the prospects? Did they sell a direction to Mr. Juan Soto?
He has a suite.
I don't know. But what I want to say this, I want to say this. Yo, bro, this team emotionally, everything spiritually with this team. Oh my God. I am in I don't even know where I'm at. I don't even know where I am. You know what I'm saying? I love the Mets, but this team is killing hope. It's killing hope.
Is there a chance we see you at Citi Field next year?
No, I'll go to some games. I'm not gonna tell you I'm not gonna go to games. I'm not gonna be like fans that be like, oh, we're not gonna support the Mets. No, we're not gonna go to Citi Field. Season is over. Come on, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. This is a perfect example of when WWE with Vince McMahon out of touch, horrible storylines. WWE fans are still going to to see the action. The Mets fans, come on, you're gonna go see your team. This is your team, whether we like it or not. This is an addiction. This is a love, and we love the Mets. We want the Mets to win. You know what I'm saying? We haven't won since '86. But it's going to be special when we win, right? It's going to be special when we win. Hopefully we win. I'm 28 years old. I need to see at least one championship. One championship in my lifetime. One. I'm only asking for one. But if you get 3 or 2, okay? But I need to see one in my lifetime, because if I don't, it's going to suck, bro, cuz that's my only fandom. But I don't know where this team is going, guys. I don't know where the rebuild. I don't know if this is a rebuild. But I want to know, what did they sell to Juan Soto? What did they sell to Juan Soto? What did they sell? Top, do you know? Do you think you know? Like, what? I don't know,
bro. They sold them exactly what the Yankees didn't sell them, a suite. So I don't know. Anyways, let's look at the comment section real quick. Eduardo Cruz, why did the Mets invest all that money on Soto, then dismantle the team? Doesn't make any sense. Stearns is more to blame for the 2025 season collapse with how he constructed the pitching staff. I understand that one. He says, is Lindor next? No. Eva saying, it's like saying Soto isn't worth the money /years because he's not the best defender. Like, what? LOL. They didn't even offer Pete a contract. Embarrassing. Not going to replace his production. I agree with that. My guy Jacob Pedrazi in the building. He says, what's good, y'all? He says, smack that like and sub for Randy and Top. Appreciate you, Jacob. Yeah, make sure you guys like this and subscribe to the Top Bunk Sports YouTube channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to Randy's at Randy Talks Mets. We got John Talento. He says, we should have kept the core and started in starting pitching. They kind of did. No, I wouldn't say they did. They didn't really do anything. But it seems to me like their best chance right now in terms of their mindset is going to trade for pitching. So we'll see if they do that. He says, let me see who we got here. We got I can't even say that name, so I'm not even going to pronounce it. In 5 years, Cohen bought the team. He bragged our farm is dead last to top 2. Stearns don't leak any news. Nobody lying. Okay. Stan. He says, why would they let people know their plans so other teams can swoop in? Good point. Game for War. He says, just pay for your tickets, buy some hot dogs, and shut up. Jacob says, I understand the frustration from the fans, but why would they let people know who they're signing? That would drive up the price. Yeah, kind of, in a way. The direction is out. So the rebuild, the retool. I read it before. He said, this is Brandon. He says, Jet and Benj would be in outfield with Soto. Beatty would be at third. Sadly, Vientos and McNeil platoon at first would be the move till Clifford is ready. Game for War says it's rebranding. We are the Milwaukee Mets. That's absolutely what it's looking like so far.
The Milwaukee Mets.
Wow. Right. Salento says, I'm sick. We feel you, bro. We really do. Eva says, if I'm gonna stick with hashtag quote unquote run prevention philosophy, then get starting pitching to do that. We gotta score runs, and we just left one of our best offensive players walk out the door. Game for War says Cohen bought Lindor and Soto to get rid of DeGrom, Nemo, Diaz, and Alonso. Yeah, man. That's what it sounds like.
I want to say this, and I want to read a tweet to you guys. Mets only discussed concepts with Robert Suarez. They apparently weren't anxious to pay more than they paid Devin Williams. Suarez ultimately got $45 million with the Braves. Williams' $51 million deal is worth about $44 million considering deferrals. I mean, what? We're the little engine that could Mets now. We're the small market Mets. We are like we are more than little brother. We're like midget brothers. Well, this is horrible, bro. I don't even know what we are, bro. This is not even the New York Mets anymore. We're the I don't even know. But like the smallest market Mets ever. Like this is like whatever small market. Like this is what we are now. Like this is not a big market anymore. Are we in New York City? Is this a New York Mets?
We can't even troll right now, bro.
Did you hear that tweet? Did you hear what I said?
We can't even troll right now. Like even if we try to troll, it looks bad, dude. Oh man. Oh.
I mean, with a little engine that could Mets, bro. We are in trouble, and I get it. I understand. What I get is okay. You haven't won with these guys. You haven't won. Okay. I understand that, right? You haven't won with Pete Alonso. You haven't won with these guys. Okay, so what? We're just gonna, sign little players that play defense, not have much offense, because Ron Darling said it perfectly. Randy SNY is watching. They could watch all they want.
Oh shit! Yo, he getting fired, yo.
They could. What you mean? I'm not talking crap. What am I saying? I'm not saying anything wrong. I'm saying my opinion on the New York Mets, and it's the little engine that could Mets. Yeah, it's the small Marcus Stearns Mets.
So you agree with that? You agree with Salicata?
What did he say
about that? This core had to be broken up.
I personally feel that they could have made a run at it, and if they would have got some pitching in here. And maybe, sign guy like a Ryan O'Hearn or somebody like that and brought back Diaz, brought back Alonso. I think you could have got a frontline starter. You got two frontline starters. You could have made a run at it. But they decided not to. And it is what it is. They don't want to do it. But do I think that the core needed to be broken up?
No, but you didn't answer my question, though. Do you agree with Sal?
I get the fact that we probably wasn't gonna win with these guys. I understand it.
So he's right. Okay.
Like we haven't won with these guys, right? So I get breaking down the core.
He's having a hard time answering the question. I get it. No, I get it. I understand.
I'm not telling you the truth. I'm telling you my opinion.
You didn't want to see it. I see it. I get it. It's okay. I'm an asshole because I'm trying to get him to say an answer he really can't say. So I get it, but it's okay. I understand.
Say anything. It does feel like the Wilpons are back. You're damn right.
Okay, Randy. All right, come on, man. All right, not to that extent.
That's what John said.
Yeah,
I'm going by what John said. Feels like the Wilpons are back.
John, like, come on, bro.
I'm just reading the comment.
Oh boy, look, and then he sips his Arizona iced tea. Yo, Randy, you know what you need, bro? You need a spa day. You need a spa day. That's what you need. I
need more than a spa day, bro. I need.
You know what you need? You need a spa day with a couple beautiful women that are just gonna give you nice massages, and you just need to cleanse your whole everything. You need like a day or a week away from Mets. That's what you need.
Top, how are you not pissed off with this team? Like how don't you just want to fucking punch David Stearns in the face?
Because all I could do is laugh.
Because it's become a joke. The Mets have become a joke even more than they already are. Only the Mets, guys. Only the New York Mets sign Juan Soto and make it a retool. Only the Mets. Only the New York Mets can do that.
But that's why I gotta laugh, because only we would do some dumb shit like that.
Exactly. Only the Mets. Only the Mets, guys. Guys, we might be cursed.
Honestly, to be real,
we might be cursed.
No, I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, I honestly don't understand how. Again, like I said, I try to justify it, and that's kind of why I gave you the reason as to Cohen and year 5 thing or whatever, and they broke it up in year 5. I try to justify it. It kind of makes sense on that, but it doesn't help the fact that you still have the best player in baseball on your fucking roster.
If it was up to Stearns, he would not have Juan Soto here. The only reason was Cohen. And people told me this. People told me this a lot. Branding. Who was gonna bring in? Seats? Who's gonna put more seat? More bodies in Citi Field. Bring more money. Juan Soto. He was a brand. It makes sense. You're bringing in Juan Soto. It makes sense. But Stearns, if it was up to Stearns, you think he would have signed Juan Soto to a 15-year contract, $765 million? Hell no. Hell no, bro.
No.
If it was up to Stearns, I don't even know what he would have done with that money. He probably would have done nothing. He would have done nothing. He would have signed a little player, a little engine that could player, and another little engine that could player, and another little engine that could play with that money.
So here's another thing, right? And this is I want your take on this, right? Since you're very active today, and shout out to my dog Eddie, right? Because that's my guy, right? He does this for engagement. He does this because people want to have conversation. I appreciate you, bro. I know at times people give you shit, but I think I understand what you're trying to do. I ain't hating, but I want your take on this, Randy, and you let me know what you think. I'm about to show it to you. You probably saw it already, but
I think I know what you're talking about.
I think it's only right that we showed a view. What you think about this trade? Do you think it's a good trade, and would you do it or not?
Andy Pajes and who? Tyler Glasnow and who? Freddie Freeman? Oh boy. Let me ask you a question, Top. Would you do that trade? Because no. Would you do that trade? You know what I'm saying? Top, would you do that trade, bro? Yo.
Oh my God, bro. Yo,
I gotta hear you. I gotta put it back on you, bro. Like, cause bro,
Eddie, I love you, bro. I hope you're watching, bro. Eddie, I love you. Yo, bro, I think the Dodgers. I don't even think the Dodgers would do this. I'm gonna be honest with you. I think the Mets would. Because they get a better defensive first baseman out of it, and they get a solid pitcher in Tyler Glasnow. And you got some solid defense at center field with Andy Pajes, but I don't think the Dodgers would do that.
Would you do it though?
Nah, I wouldn't.
No, I wouldn't either.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why the Dodgers wouldn't do it.
What, Freddie Freeman, right? They're not trading Freddie Freeman.
That's number one. Number two, they've had success with Tyler Glasnow, so I don't think, and he's on a cheap contract. I don't think they're gonna. Even though there has been reports today that they were listening to trade conversations for him. I don't think that Anthony, my guy Ant, is in the building from Subway to Shea podcast. Make sure you give him a follow. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. He said, "Why would the Dodgers do that if they're already winners?" Exactly. My thing is, and this is Eddie. Like I said, I want to say this because I'm not trying to shit on you. It's just an interesting trade that I want to share on the show to get people's opinion, right? You like engagement, so I'm engaging your tweet for everybody on the show. I personally don't think that they would do it because of these factors. Like I said, one, they're not going to get rid of Freddie Freeman. Yes. They're trying to win as much as they can with him. Two, you're not getting rid of a solid starting piece in Tyler Glasnow, who's on a cheap contract, right? They already have a big hefty contract in Blake Snell for 5 years. He's pitching solid for them. He really hasn't been bad for them since he's been a Dodger. So I don't think they want to move him unless you get a better pitcher. And then when you talk about Andy Pajes, Andy Pajes is a little bit sketchy at times offensively, but he covers a lot of outfield. So when he covers a lot of outfield, it's like, why would you want to get rid of that unless you're putting him in a big trade? Then on top of that, we're forgetting about the one thing out of everything that's not even put here. Mookie Betts is a shortstop. they're not moving Mookie Betts out of shortstop. They primarily had Mookie Betts play shortstop for a reason. Another thing,
And he played great top. He played great at shortstop. He played an amazing shortstop.
He played an amazing shortstop. Another thing, Francisco Lindor wouldn't play second base. I'll tell you that much. All he's known is shortstop.
You got to read that comment, bro.
Right here.
The Mets would do it because Soto doesn't like fashion.
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Funny. That's funny. That's funny.
Yeah, that's actually pretty funny.
Oh my god, bro! What a horrible,
silly
horrible.
Mazzy 86 says there's a very good chance that the players would simply do not want to play for our team. The perception, especially now, is this team is flawed and broken. Hey, I understand it. I
putting the PlayStation on, bro.
My PlayStation fucking just I had the volume off. Anyways, yeah, I don't think they would do it. I think the Mets would do it because for many reasons, although they're getting rid of Francisco Lindor, and that would probably hurt, they're technically getting rid of his contract, excuse me. Freddie Freeman is on he's on a much cheaper contract than Francisco Lindor.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he's only getting paid 200. What is it? 200 mil.
241.
It's right. So it's cheaper. It's a much cheaper contract than Francisco Lindor. Like I say, you're taking a solid. Oh
no, I'm saying 241 Francisco Lindor. That's his contract.
341.
341.
Yes.
341. You're right. 341.
341 compared to Freddie Freeman's contract. They would take that because it's on a cheaper deal, and you're getting really good defensive production from Freddie Freeman, and you're getting a lefty first baseman. Like I said, the Dodgers wouldn't do it. So
no. Wait. What you said, Roberto? Mets might land Schoolbull, Tucker, Bobachet. Let me tell you something.
You know what, yo?
Let me tell you something, Roberto.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie. Now that he says the Bobachet shit, maybe that's what they're wrapping up for. I'm not gonna lie.
This is the little engine that could New York Mets. But this is the small Marcus Stearns Mets, guys. I'm sorry to tell you this. I don't see him making another long-term signing deal. I just don't. I don't see a Bobachet. I don't see a Alex Bregman, a Kyle Tucker. Like
I don't see a Bregman either. I think they stood 10 toes on Brett Beatty being your third baseman.
Yo, Eva, bring back the thumbs down movement, yo, bro. That's hilarious.
That was a fun time. That was a very fun time. Eddie, if you're watching this, bro, let us know what you think, bro. We need to hear your side.
Eddie,
I feel bad, bro. He's gonna hit me up after this, like, yo, Top, you ain't shit for that. I'm like, bro, I didn't even mean it in a disrespectful way.
No, you didn't. You just put the trade out there.
I wanted to put the trade out there, man. I wanted it to engage, man.
You could scroll up a little bit, give him, I guess, a little, show his account.
Yeah, sure. Let's see. Look right here. Bam, right here. Look, Eddie Presti. Make sure y'all follow.
Yeah, there you go, Eddie Presti. There you go,
man. And he does the Knicks addiction and the Mets addiction.
Yes. Very hard worker. Very hard worker, man.
He's consistent, man. He was actually crashing out yesterday, man.
I heard a little bit. On Hector's thing. Guys, like, I know that we have hope. I know that we have hope for like bigger moves. My thing is, and this is a horrible thing that I'm about to say. They're gonna try to get under the 241 threshold.
That's even worse, bro.
We're gonna probably trade.
How they're gonna go? We're screwed.
We're gonna trade Senga. We're gonna trade McNeil. Maybe Peterson.
I'm happy about that though.
Huh?
If we trade McNeil and Senga, I'm cool with that.
Oh no, but Top, it gets better. But you don't make any other signings. You're not signing any other.
No, so nobody else is getting signed. It's just straight trades.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Oh man! All
all for the big casino, baby.
The New York. The New York.
Top, I've heard this in the recent days. Steve Cohen brought the Mets to get that casino.
Maybe that was his plan all along, man.
Bro, I don't know.
I'm not gonna agree to that.
I'm not gonna agree to that either. But I've heard it. That's what I'm saying. I've heard it. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm not gonna agree to that. I mean, I see it. I could see why you guys are saying that, but I'm not gonna agree to that. I think he wanted to do that, like maybe within like his second, third year, like how he kind of saw something. He was like, maybe while I'm here, I could change some things up and put that in place.
And like you would think that David Stearns will be into the Tatsuya Amai, right? It's a perfect guy for him, a younger guy, pitcher. He could sign him, but apparently, a credit to John Harper, because in the space the other day, he said the Mets don't like his splitter that much. So
for all this pitching lab bullshit that we talk, we can't fix that, right?
I guess not. I guess not.
I guess we also
maybe we could re-sign Griffin Canning again. Bring back who we gonna bring back? Maybe we could sign Eric Fetty.
I also guess 3 years, $45 million for the second best closer in baseball right now, and Robert Suarez was too much, right?
It was too much. It was way too much for the Mets. It was too much. They call it the penny pinching Mets or whatever they call it. There's so many names you could call the Mets right now. Small market Mets, small market Stearns Mets. Bro, I don't know where this team is going. And the fact that people talk about, Stearns, go get a GM. He's not gonna get a GM.
Yeah,
they're not getting a GM. That's not happening. Stearns wants control over everything. Stearns is controlling everything. I'm sorry. I want to know, and I honestly want to know, how Carlos Beltran feels about all of this.
Right.
I would love to know. How does Carlos Beltran feel about all of these things that's happening right now? I don't know. But I'm going to tell you guys, I'm very concerned. I don't know where this team is going. Look, I have hope that maybe they're going to do something big at some point. But I and that's like a little hope. That's to be realistic, I don't think that they're going to do much. And it's going to be a boring offseason for the Mets. I'm sorry. I don't know who we're getting. I don't know what we're doing. And I'm very concerned. Christopher said, why does Stearns hate Alonso? I don't understand. Run prevention. He doesn't like that Alonso, doesn't play much defense. He looks at Alonso like an older player that's gonna, age over time and not be overall the great player that Pete Alonso is. He's gonna decline. He looks at him like it's like on not as a human, probably just paper, like as an asset or whatever. This is a declining asset. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. It's very unfortunate. But that tribute video, guys, that tribute video was a nice tribute video that the Mets did. And you notice how they didn't do a tribute video for Edwin Diaz, right? Find that very interesting. But bro, I don't know. I don't know where it's going. I don't know. Let me see. I don't think that the Mets want to play for Mendoza, especially being a lame duck manager. Darren Rivera. What's going on, Darren? Yo, bro. Mendoza, I don't know if he's here to be a puppet. I don't know what he's here for, but I don't know. I don't know. Where did they post the tribute video? Wasn't it on the Mets account?
Yes. If you go to
the Mets account, you could look at the Mets account and you can find. Is it on Twitter or Instagram?
It's on all of it.
Everything Mets, you can find it.
But you can find it on Twitter.
Everything Mets, you can find it.
Yeah, you can find it on Twitter. Yeah, it's funny. They did a tribute video for Pete, or not Diaz. It's yeah, man. I honestly don't know. Like looking at this graphic right here, It just seeing Diaz and seeing Alonso and their respective jerseys for the new teams is just making me sick. Like I just don't know. It's just nasty. It's nasty work all around. You again, like I said, and to me, I know people are gonna be like, Top, what side are you on? You sound like you are on one side, but then you understand what David Stearns is trying to do. I understand what he might be trying to do. Again, like I said, he's breaking up the core. The year 5 plan that Cohen had, they probably had a conversation and said, yo, I want to stick to this plan. And if it doesn't, we gotta break it up. It doesn't help that, Jeff McNeil and Lindor can't seem to get along. And every time that happens or somebody's speaking out, Lindor is always the bad guy. That's a whole different conversation that I don't even want to fucking have, because people are going to make it seem like I'm just a player fan and I'm not a fan about the organization. It just seems like, they took a stance and they took a route. To me, and I see this comment right here by I can't even say the name, so I'm not even gonna try to mess it up. Stearns is not win now. He's in rebuild mode. The reason why I say retool is because of Juan Soto on your team. I don't see a situation where you have Juan Soto on your team with that type of money. Look, I understand if they went to Juan Soto and had a conversation with him and said, yo, look, you're here for 15, right? You're here for 5 after an opt-out, right? We're going to promise you that we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to rebuild as much as we can. If you just give us at least a 2-year window to just rebuild, maybe a 3, right? Depending how long it takes these kids to kind of, get their mojo up here in the majors or whatever. If you just give us some time to go get a school ball, to check out free agency next year, right? Because we didn't remember, they've said, it's been reported multiple times, even during the winter meetings, that they didn't like what they saw. Ken Rosenthal said that, right? When Will Salmon kind of alluded to that just a little bit, right? When he was there. If there's a way that you can go ahead and let us kind of just retool it just a little bit with the kids here and get a school ball next year, sign a school ball, and just kind of work it that way, we're gonna compete. We're gonna compete. Maybe they had that conversation with them. Now, of course, they may not have had that conversation, and they could have said, you know what? We're just gonna take We're gonna take matters into our own hands, and we're just gonna fucking bang. One thing that I noticed, and I think Met fans kind of spoke on this a lot of the times, the shit that Adam Ottavino said, right, about Brandon Nimmo. Brandon Nimmo gets traded, right? There's a good chance Jeff McNeil could be getting traded. Jeff McNeil has been the longest tenured Met within this organization between Brandon Nimmo and Pete Alonso, right? It was Brandon Nimmo first, right? Remember, he got drafted in 2011. He got his call up in 2016, right? Then came Jeff McNeil. He got called up in 2018, right? Pete Alonso the year after, right? So 2 of those guys are already gone. And with McNeil being the longest tenured Met on this team, I think it's time they look at it and say, listen, thank you for your service. If you're willing to take the bench role for most of the time, like a Jose Iglesias, kind of play some spots here and there, and kind of take a limited playing time role, we'll bring you back. We'll have you back. Other than that, if that's not what you're willing to do, we're going to try to go and trade. We're going to try to go and trade you. But I just don't, to me, there is no way that you can tell me with Francisco Lindor still in his prime, with Juan Soto still in his prime, in the middle of his prime, that you can say we're going to rebuild. It's more for me. It's more of a retool.
I'm gonna tell you this. Top. I'm gonna tell you this. They're gonna opt out. He's gonna opt out.
No, it does not matter, bruh. He still got 4 more years left. I don't see them not competing in his 4 years of that portion of the contract.
You're right.
I don't.
Yeah.
Yo, call me crazy. I just don't see it. I really don't. That is hard for me to believe because you're wasting half of his fucking time, bro.
No cap. No cap.
Dude, he's 26.
I know. I
I just, and you gotta also understand, bro. Like Juan Soto's never gonna get that contract again.
No, he's not.
If he opts in, you do realize that contract turns into an $800 million contract.
Yes. They could buy out that option.
Bro, I just don't see it. I see what you're saying, Randy, but I just don't see it.
No. Yeah, no, I don't want it to happen. I'm just saying.
I don't see it.
I truly wonder how Juan Soto is feeling about all of this. Remember how excited Soto was when Alonso resigned? I mean, what are we gonna do? We're gonna get Starling Marte. We're gonna bring back Starling Marte. He's gonna DH, play some outfield. I don't know, bro. I don't know. 4 more years of mierda. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
Honestly, like I said, I don't.
But let's try to be more positive. Top, let's try to look at this in a positive way. What can the Mets do to make this a better team right now and make this a contender? Let's try to look at it that way. Top, what do you think that they could do to make this team a contender?
You're talking about like
this year, 2026? I'm going into 2026.
Okay. I'm gonna give you a couple scenarios that is still gonna have to take them out their comfort zone, but it's the only way they could truly make the playoffs, unless shit really hits the rails and we're fucked. I would say maybe see, but trade for Scoble maybe.
Okay.
To start.
Okay.
Go sign a Belly.
Okay.
Matter of fact, go trade for a Contreras and sign for a Belly.
Okay.
Because Belly plays your right field, right?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Belly plays your left field.
Yep.
Your center field, right, can definitely go between Benj and Taylor, right?
Okay.
Again, I think the notion was that they wanted to have Benj start at center field, and then eventually, obviously, he's gonna move into left fielder. He's not an everyday center fielder. He's more of a left fielder. Go get a Pete Fairbanks as a setup man. Right now, you really don't have a setup man unless you go get a Tyler Rogers, but I don't even think Tyler Rogers is technically a setup man. I think that would be like a 7th inning type of guy. Mm-hmm. That would be it.
Okay. I see.
Look at it from a diamond perspective. Your catcher, Francisco Alvarez, right? You brought back Luis Torrens as your backup, right?
Yep.
Your first baseman is Wilson Contreras, right? Now,
which I like. I like him.
Now, here's the thing. We got other people that do Mets content that say that Wilson Contreras is not a good move, right? Because let me explain.
Go ahead.
See, this is the thing. I don't say shit, right? I don't really say shit, but I keep my ears and I keep my eyes to the streets of Twitter. We got Mets content creators that say that Wilson Contreras is not a good trade. Why? He's 33. He's not much of a power hitter. You don't really replace Pete's power production. He has an OPS in the 7s, right? Okay. Mm-hmm. Go look at his stats. And that's already proven wrong. Okay. That's a 20 to 20 plus home run hitter. That's another thing. That is a better defensive player than Pete Alonso. And what does that fit? I'm asking you the question. What is I just said the words right now that makes David Stearns nut in his pants.
Run prevention.
That's defense, correct?
Yep.
That's player number 1.
Yep.
You got Marcus Semien at second base. You got Francisco Lindor at shortstop. You got Brett Beatty, who would you consider young, He's part of the young kids in a way, right? Because he's still trying to play the young kids.
Yep.
Even though he's had more than 500 at bats, he's not a kid no more. But at the end of the day, he's part of their system. He's a better defensive third baseman than Mark Vientos, and he plays really good defense at third base. And they see him playing third. It's already known about that. He's already said that. Then you look at your outfield, Soto, center field. Like I said, they have big aspirations for Carson Bench, depending on how spring training goes. You already brought back Tyrone Taylor. Tyrone Taylor could be the backup to Carson Bench, or Carson Bench could be the backup to Tyrone Taylor, and they could switch. Then you're looking at left field. You're looking at left field where if you bring a Cody Bellinger, not only does he add versatility to where sometimes if you want to have Wilson Contreras play DH at times to give him a break at first, you move Cody Bellinger to first base, and you can have Carson Bench play a little bit of left field. And if they're not going to trade Jeff McNeil, because I want them to trade Jeff McNeil, but let's say he breaks all our hearts and doesn't trade Jeff McNeil, you're going to have to play the brother anyways. So have him be a utility player to the days that got that, left field is open. Maybe if Marcus Semien has a day off, he goes in and he plays second base. I think that's a good pivot. And if you want,
no, it sounds like a good pivot.
And if you want, if Wilson Contreras is in a trade, but you think Wilson Contreras could be or not even this, I'll give you a better one. Let's scrap the Wilson Contreras and the Wilson Contreras experiment. Let's keep Cody Bellinger. Let's sign Cody Bellinger. Go get me a Yandy Diaz to go play first base, and go get me a Eugenio Suarez to be a DH. You still want the 35 to 40 home runs in your lineup? And you know who said that? Shout out to my money man, Rick the Ruler. Rick, I got you, baby. I got you.
Interesting. For the DH.
Now the first one that I told you, that's plan A, that's pivot A, and pivot B was the one that I just told you with Yandy Diaz and Eugenio Suarez. The comments, everybody that's watching, shout out to the 312 that's watching. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think. What would be a better pivot move for the Mets within that? And I'll repeat it if I have to.
Pivot A or pivot B?
You let me know, Randy. Which one do you like?
Kind of like pivot B a little bit. I like the Yandy Diaz, the Suarez, DH, Cody Bellinger. I mean, if that involves Scooble, right?
That to me, I have them either trading or signing for Scooble.
Yeah, I mean, I like Plan B. I like Plan A too, but I like Plan B. I like Plan B because Suarez is intriguing. He's a swing and miss, all or nothing kind of guy, but he does bring home runs and he brings that slugging ability. He brings that power that maybe you'd be lacking obviously you're lacking already. Mm-hmm. You bring a right-handed bat who is a right-handed bat that the Mets need a right-handed bat. But him playing DH, he'd play him, just a DH. That's interesting. He's not that good of a defender, so it makes sense.
Right.
It makes sense that he would play the DH position. Right. I like Yandy Diaz a lot. I think he's a good hitter. Older, he's a good hitter though. I mean, he batted 300, hit 25 home runs. I like Yandy Diaz a lot. I really do. Damn, man, it's just so intriguing how this team is gonna look. Because then we could really say it was a retool or it was a rebuild. I think if they go either pivot B or pivot A or pivot B, it's still a retool in my opinion. It's a retool, yeah, for sure. It's a retool. Scooble has free agency 2027. By that time, there's a salary cap. Yeah. Yeah, but that doesn't mean that the Mets can't get him, though. Mets or Dodgers better lure him in now on the. Oh God, I'll tell you this, bro. If the Dodgers if the Dodgers get Scooble, baseball is gonna become unwatchable.
I think it would be better for the Mets to sign him.
Well, hell yeah.
I mean, I think it would. No, well, yeah, no.
You mean trade and sign him? Yeah.
I am on the notion that he should be signed instead of traded for. However, the factor of the lockout happening plays a big factor, and I think I wouldn't be shocked if the Mets were to go out there and trade for him.
Randy pepping up. Yo, I'm trying to look at it from a positive standpoint now, but I it's hard. It's really hard, man.
It is really hard. Listen, a lot of ways that David Stearns and Steve Cohen can retool this and not give themselves an opportunity to miss the playoffs again. I think it would definitely be a good way to retool. Like I said, I think the notion that they get a Wilson Contreras is if they're trying to retool and just be, still trying to be contenders. I think that's a good move. I also think the plan A, the plan A that I mentioned, and also the plan B that I mentioned, I think those are smart ways to retool as well. Let me look at some of the comments before I get to my last thing here before we wrap it up. Brandon J. Camacho says, who knows how David Stearns is talking about the prospect and wanting to use them. I don't see them getting schoolball. Okay, we're talking about a trade. Okay, yeah, I totally understand that, but sometimes there's an opportunity where it's so perfect that you have to give those prospects away to try to retool and win now. But you are absolutely right. You're not wrong on that. G Money Stack says, how many years would Tariq Skubal get despite the lockdown happening in 2027? See, that's where that's where to me would be a little bit tricky. I would probably think I don't even know. Because it's hard. It depends where that salary cap hits if they put in a salary cap after the lockdown. San says we have to, or we will make ourselves miserable.
Right?
Yeah, no.
I mean, I'm already miserable with what I've had to deal with in 48 hours. But yeah,
I agree. Coolwater 83 says we need Tucker, Bellinger, Skubal. The Bellinger and Skubal thing, I could possibly see whether they trade for Skubal or sign for me. The Tucker situation for me is a little bit iffy because you're asking, in my opinion, I think Soto is better, right?
Yeah.
You're asking your better player, your highest paid player, to move to left field for a guy he's better than. Now,
you don't think Calderon could play left field?
I just never. I don't know. I've personally never seen it. I think he can. But again, is that it's not even about if he can play left field. Is Soto okay with it right now? That's the question. But I like the idea, Coldwater. I like the idea. Darren Rivera says Diaz is a gap-to-gap 20 to 25 home run power. And although Suarez isn't as a good hitter as Pete easily replaces his power production. Exactly. So, again, not agreeing with them with them letting Pete walk. But the positive to it is now they have money to allocate it in a way where they just don't have to throw it to one player. They got that money to go ahead and be like, listen, we can stay cheap a little bit, still go get a Yandy Diaz. If we're going to spend the most, we could go get a Tucker, right? Or we could go get a Bellinger, depending on what he's asking for. We could still go get a Yandy Diaz, and we can still go. I thought I muted my TV. We could still go get. We could still go make some moves where it wouldn't hurt us that much compared to what we would pay Pete.
But that's a good plan, but not what apparently Tim Healy was reporting or talking about. Jeff McNeil, Paul Goldschmidt as a platoon. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. No, that better not happen. It better not happen. It better not happen.
Yeah, no. I'm not. I'm not opposed to that. I'm definitely not opposed to that. Roberto Hernandez says top team sharing profits with the bottom feeders is disgusting. All these owners are billionaires. Yeah, I agree. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. It is. It absolutely. I don't even like this lockout. I really don't. But it comes to a situation where owners got to realize you can't keep paying these players that much that type of money. It's not sustainable. It's not sustainable like that. And I get it. I get it. Soto isn't a good outfielder, whether he plays right or left, it doesn't matter. LOL. Yeah, well, that's the risk a lot of these players take. But you see how I say that Pete's power outweighs his defense, and he still should have been signed. Same thing with Soto, right? He's not a good defender on the outfield, but his production offensively outweighs his defense.
Yeah.
So what? You're not gonna sign one of the best offensive players in baseball because his defense is bad? No. See, that's my thing with Met fans when it comes to Pete. Oh, he's such a bad defender at first base. Yeah, but nobody speaks about that when he's out here cracking you fucking 45 to 50 home runs with 100 plus RBIs.
Yeah.
Nobody's talking about that when your team makes the playoffs, right? And he's out here actually hitting bombs in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody's talking about that. So when it comes to Met fans, I need them to be consistent. I need them to be more alert on what they're talking about. Because y'all only bringing up his defense when it comes to him not being back on the Mets, or when it comes to him possibly being back on the Mets for a large amount of money. Motherfuckers, it's not y'all money. It's not y'all money. Let's be real. Not a lot of Met fans were complaining about Soto's contract, and when it came to his defense, you know who was doing that though? The Yankees were. After he came here, but they weren't talking about that when he was there, when they traded for him. What were they were talking about how great of an offensive player he is, and that he's one of the best players in baseball.
Yeah.
And that he's paired up with Aaron Judge. So all of that defensive bullshit, save that. Again, Cool Water, I'm not coming at you whatsoever, but there's a lot of Met fans that want to switch the narrative around when it comes to these players and their lackability in certain parts of their game. If Pete wasn't putting the production that he was putting up on first base, and then on top of that, going ahead and saying, yo, he also sucks at defense, then I get it. But the fact that he's still helping you on one side and it's outweighing his inabilities on the other side, again, I can't complain. This is why I said I think he should be signed.
Yo, Top, I like what we did here though when we talked about two players, like, 20 home run hitters that can bring some power and basically replace the Pete Alonso, just the one player. I like what we did here. We gave a good little backup. Not gonna lie.
I mean, listen, like I said, I don't see how you could rebuild with Soto on your team. If that's the case, then you trade him today. If you're telling your families, yo, we're rebuilding, then go trade him.
Yeah.
Soto's not here for a rebuild. Soto's here to win a championship. Even if Soto doesn't care, a player like Soto should not be on a rebuilding team. He should be on a championship winning team.
Yep.
And what struck me, whether it was taken out of context or not, our fucking owner came out and said, we're still finding ways to make the playoffs. Not to win a championship, to make the playoffs. That's very, very surprising to me, whether it's taken out of context or not.
Yeah, I found that very interesting too. And it's like, where is this winning attitude that Cohen had before? I don't know. And I hope I don't know. I honestly don't know. It's a little scary. I'm not gonna lie. He just wants us to be a playoff team. Well, I mean, everybody wants to win a championship, but playoff team, I get it. You want to be competitive, like you want to make the playoffs, and if you make the playoffs, you have a chance to win the World Series. Any team that has a legitimate chance to make the World Series if they get it to the playoffs. So I get the fact the playoff team, but don't sell me on this playoff team when you talking about Paul Goldschmidt and Jeff McNeil as a platoon. When you're not getting guys like Ascendi Alcantara, somebody like that pitching wise. How is this team going to get better? I don't know, but
I don't believe that. Listen, Team Haley's Team Haley. I don't believe that.
Hopefully
I think
not.
it'd be very stupid for the Mets to do that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like that's where
Really
Stearns
agree.
to get a reality check. Cool Water says, "Oh nah, I ain't definitely saying Soto isn't worth it. I'm just saying if he switches to left, let Tucker play right. I'm cool with that." Oh, absolutely. Mind you, he's a natural left fielder. He started.
I also think
left field.
you saw Juan Soto play left field in San Diego. Why can't he play?
He can do it. No. He can do it. I just feel like the Mets will look at it in a way to keep Soto in right and put Tucker in left.
Yeah.
That's how I would see it. But I just don't see them adding another. Tucker's going to be asking for a lot.
Damn right.
So I think they rather go the Cody Bellinger route.
Yep.
So, like I said, there's ways for them to retool. I think that's what they're doing. If Cohen is 100% true that they're still trying to make the playoffs, then I'd look at it as a retool. They're trying to find better options that are a little bit more cheaper, that that play better defense than what they've had here, because their offense speaks for itself. And that's where I think the run prevention comes into part. But y'all appreciate the 320 that joined. Like I said, Edwin Diaz and Pete Alonso are gone. We got to face the facts. But we are Met fans at the end of the day. We support the team, the logo on the front and the name in the back. We still got to see what they're gonna do. But it is so far, it is not a good. It has not been a good 24 hours for us and the rest of the Mets community. But we appreciate everybody in here. Randy, any final thoughts before we sign off?
Oh man, it's been a crazy 48 hours, guys. I've been going through a lot of emotions, and I've been going through a whole bunch of shit in Twitter Spaces talking about the Mets, and on live talking about the Mets. And I'll tell you this, it's such a weird, concerning time to be a Met fan. I think it's only gonna get crazier, man. It's only gonna get crazier. We'll see what happens. I am very, very intrigued to see what happens, and scared and concerned, but I think it's going to be very interesting. You can follow me on Randy Talks Mets on YouTube, Randy Talks Mets on Twitter. Hit a subscribe on YouTube, like and comment. Subscribe really helps the channel out for both of us, me and Top. So, really appreciate that, man. But let's go Mets at the end of the day. Appreciate it.
Yeah, man. We still got more off season to go. What the Mets do, it will be very, very interesting to see now that they have.
And hell no, I ain't no Bobby Wallace, bro. No, ain't no Bobby Wallace.
It'll be very interesting to see what they do with this core. So let's see how that goes. But I appreciate everybody in here tuning in and giving us your time. Appreciate everybody that was engaging with us in the comments. Really do appreciate y'all. Listen, man. We're here to stick together with this shit, man. Whether y'all like it or not, we are here to go through with this together. We love Edwin Diaz. We love Pete Alonso. But they are now not with us, and they're on a different team. Much love and much respect to those two, man. Wish them nothing but the best. We thank you to both of them for the memories that they gave us as Met fans. But now they're on their next journey. So we wish them nothing but, love and respect, and wish nothing but the best. But with that said, I'm your guy David from Top Bunk Sports. This is episode 8 of Mets on Top. Please make sure you guys follow the page at Top Bunk Sports on YouTube. Make sure you subscribe to the video. Make sure you guys like this live. Make sure you guys share it. Make sure you guys follow me at Top Bunk Sports, like I said. Make sure you do that on X, Instagram, and TikTok, and make sure you guys continue to show love and keep pushing the page, because like Randy said, the more you do that, the better, and the more that we grow. And without you guys, this wouldn't be possible. Without the entire Mets Nation, this wouldn't be possible. So thank you guys so much for the love and support. And with that being said, I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.